And we continue to encourage each other to let's pick back up our responsibility. Let's be truly independent. Let's come off that dependency. Let's fix our country. Let's fix Mama Dominic. Mama Dominic needs us to fix. And let's do it together as a people. Let's depend on each other. Let's look at each other. Let's believe in each other. You know what I mean? Respect and communicate and cooperate with one another. And let's get it done, Rastafari.
Yes, Maggie. One love, respect. Greetings to all the viewers. And yeah, Maggie, made the introduction, so I'm just going to dive right into it. Yes, Maggie. Definitely, we need to be able to depend on each other, but to depend on each other, we have to find a way to trust in each other.
Important word there. TRUST, trust.
Yeah. Now, what you think is a prerequisite for trust? I asking you, if I asking you to trust me, what is the prerequisite? What is the things that I will need to ensure for you to be able to put your trust in me?
Well, I honestly would give me the answer. I do.
So, Maggie, you never trust nobody then, Maggie?
Boy, that is a thing there that, yeah, I trust to a certain extent, but boy, when the kind of thing man go through from your own family and close to relatives and friends, and seeing what other people going through, you know what I mean? Yeah, it is not an easy thing. See, trust and love, and they go hand in hand. You can't trust without love, you can't love without trust. You check it. So yeah, I would like I feel like you're very
You
be
think,
intellectual.
do you think that there's different degrees to trust?
Definitely.
Like, you may trust
Levels.
to a certain extent, you know? But do we feel, because we were saying in our last, oh, my mic do working? It working? No?
Mine's working.
Cool. So, all right. Yeah. So, trust, yes, we was talking about trust, right? And you were saying that, we have certain degrees or certain, you trust in people to a certain extent. And I was coming to the point that we were making in our last show, where we were pointing out that the very reason that we come together and form this thing that we call a community is for what? For security, to be safe, to find security with each other, among each other. But are we truly secure among each other? Do we truly feel safe among each other? Because to me, one of the things that if we're talking about trust, then you have to have my best interest at heart.
Definitely.
I cannot know that you have ill intention for me, and for me to still give my trust to you. So, do we feel that our interest as a nation, as a people, is being represented? Do we feel that security? Do we feel that, from the community? Do we feel protected by our community? Do we feel safe
No, we don't.
among each other?
No, we don't. We don't. And it's because of where we find ourselves right now with all that division through the whole partisan politics thing there, that whole them and us.
Yeah.
I coming out good. You hear me good?
Maggie
I
coming
coming
through,
out
okay?
good there? Sound check 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yo. Make sure. Yeah, you talking. Yeah, you check it. So definitely we don't. That is why we are where we at right now, because we don't trust each other, and we surely don't trust those that want to be in the position of authority and leadership
On either side.
on either side, and wherever side and all kind of side and whatever side that emerges, because the side thing is a problem thing. Divide and rule, opportunists, you know what I mean, and all that kind of thing. So that's why I say we have to turn to us. But turning to us is still us still. Can we trust each other?
Right. That, Maggie. Because you see, character. We talk about leadership. We say leadership is everything. Right? But what about your character? Does your character count for anything?
Of course.
Because I believe that if you're saying that there is not that feeling, that there's not that sense of trust and there's not that sense of security in our community, and then we see people who, tend to make us believe that Dominica is a peaceful place. But I asking myself, is it that we are a peaceful place, or is it that we are just silent? And is that silent? What does that silence? How does that silence impact our trust in each other? Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we on the trust level. Trust is something that is built. Yes, character is important, because who is Maggie? What is Maggie vibes? What is Maggie track record? Maggie some kind of fella that have bad record, that just do it's who you are. You have to what is Maggie scene? You check it. What is your scene? What is so whoever you want to deal with, you have to know their background. That's why the whole politics thing. There's a lot of where man does use try and tarnish one another name to make people to trust them. So there's use that trusting and lack of trust to be a weapon to their advantage. So they start to find out, spew out things on you, yeah, well, you just get taking care of your teeth, whatever. They spread propaganda to tarnish man name so that people will not have no trust in you. I've seen that happen. We see that happening steady. I mean, demonize people, all kind of thing. That is to take out to make people not trust them.
But you see, while we focus in Maggie, when we talk about character, okay, we talk about character, and the immediate image that pop in your head is a man that do so many things, and a man that do this and do that. Okay? But you see, maybe that is the people that we really need right now. People that do things, you check? Because you see,
What kind of thing?
in the positions of trust, listen. Yes. But in the position of trust, we have people that doing nothing. You get where I'm coming from? In the positions of trust, where there should be action to ensure that we can continue to trust each other, there is inaction and there is silence. And these very same people will call that silence peace. But it's not really peace. Peace and silence are not the same. Okay? So, is it because of the mistrust that we have for each other that we're so silent? That we feel, well, if we tell Maggie that we don't know who Maggie dealing with, so we don't know who Maggie might tell, and tomorrow, we don't know if we might be tight with Maggie tomorrow, so we don't know if Maggie might, you check me, use that against us. So, why is it that we feel that way? You check me, is it that we have created a culture over time, we have created a culture of not only people victimizing us, but us victimizing ourselves?
Well, it's been a program in and a long. Remember, 40-something years of independence, and we go through a whole heap of thing, but now we're starting to get a level of consciousness and awareness of what have been happening, why we are where we are, and we used to believe where as if it's a now thing it happening now, but but we realizing like that started way back when. You check it? So that is what now have us wondering, boy. So all the while that was happening now, boy. So now we checking, boy, you have to be careful, because if you are trusting those people there, like Mamu and them, for back in the days, and we felt they had our best interests at heart, and then we realize, well, see that now, what we're facing now is a direct result of what this Mamu and them people planted from way back when, that is right now, have been harvested and, wreaking havoc on us. So now we checking like, boy, we have to be very careful how we step in right now, because we don't want to continue in that trajectory, and we need to, and it's a good thing, yeah, after all them years, we have come to that realization, and now we have to tread carefully and not make no rash decision, because we realize it has all been political strategies after, time after time, which has nothing to do with us, really.
You say something there, and I agree with what you say, about, what we have lived through since independence, with our leaders, and essentially having that power struggle from since after our independence, and never having had the development of the people as a priority. Okay? One thing, I have my reservations about Miss Charles. But I don't know if it's because she was a woman, or I don't know, maybe because she already came from money, or whatever the case may have been. But but to me, at that time, regardless of what her shortcomings were, when we're talking about character, because every human being has their shortcomings. But regardless of what her shortcomings were, she never divorced the people from the means of production, from the means of generating or having that kind of economic independence. That I can appreciate. Okay? In those days, we keep talking about it. Man that couldn't read and write, they were still able to buy their cat. You check me? Buy their pickup. They sign in with an X, but they have their money. Is I telling you, they can feed their family. They have their dignity. Okay. Now you know it still are the whole political lines, the whole political things, because in the whole political dynamics of it, you know, it had things that were unsavory, you know, that I think that at that time might have even provoked that what we have here now. You check I telling you, keep the dirty shoes outside, and you know, that kind of humiliation over time puts almost like a resentment in people, so that they feel when they get the power, you know, that they will be unrelenting. So it's a psychological thing, you know, that going on there in a sense. You check?
For sure.
But fast forward to today. As a people, when we were in the 70s, we were more trusting and more secure with each other, more together, more unified. You know? When we decide to pull a protest, my brother, when we decide to play bad in Mamu time, my brother, I already see a gang of men lift up a house, a wooden house by G's, and put that in the road and light that on fire, you know, Maggie. A whole house, you know, Maggie. You see them little tikai? Yeah. Them man lift up a whole tikai there by where Jesus is there right now, presently, on the side there, and put that in the road and burn that. Every single bin in Roseau, at that time they had this skip. Yeah. Every single bin in Roseau was on fire. You check? People had that sense of unity, that sense of security, togetherness, and power with each other. You check? Because to me, at that time, we had greater economic independence, greater economic means. And because of that, we were thinking and feeling and acting more independently. But fast forward to today, again, you know, what have we been told about the means of production? If not CBI, then what? Yet still, 98% is a good percentage. 99% of the population does not have access to the sale of passports. They don't sell passports. They have no ability to determine what they're going to prioritize in their life. You know, the government feel, well, they take the money and they build a house and they jam you in a house and they determine, well, that is, you know. But no, people are not livestock, my brother. That is what we have been reduced to by accepting that model, that ideology of governance. Okay? And as parents, I on the verge of telling the next generation and those young people that they know not to look, you know, to my generation, you know, for a leader, you know. Look among themselves, you know. Because I can tell you, a lot of the people there right now in these positions, I went to sixth form college with them. Sorry, not sixth form, I'm Clifton Dupini. A lot of them know that. If they're watching there now, they know that. You check me? And a lot of them, while we were going college, you know, we have that sense of inferiority. Like we look down on ourselves and we look at these people there. They come from, you know, these families and they often get the opportunities ahead of us, and, you know, and we think like, boy, those people are going to be so great and do so much, you know. And to see these people now, you know, all their education has done is assimilate them into something that is inherently corrupt. Okay? Just look at the manner in which our institutions act. Domlek, for example. Domlek has made a policy decision to remove to now carry out disconnections on the holidays, on Saturdays and so on. Now on Monday, which is another holiday, people are facing the inconvenience of not being reconnected on time. And Domlek excuse is that they did not anticipate that they would have that backlog. I call bullshit on that excuse. Because to me, there are always inconveniences. There are always penalties that are put upon the small man to shape their behavior. Oh, you need to pay, make sure you top up on Friday so that, over the weekend, you put so many inconveniences, so many little consequences to shape our behavior. Okay? We're making $20. We say, well, it's $5 we can put on the lights. No, you're telling us, no, put 10. Because you don't know if we might disconnect you over the weekend. You understand? So you want to dictate to us. You enjoy your monopoly. You understand? At our expense. But what consequences is there for the institutions when they come up with a lame excuse talking about they did not anticipate the backlog, when that what happening there is a direct consequence of your policy decision?
Well, Flaco. Yeah, good evening, good night to everyone. Earlier on, we were talking about a thing, and if you look at it, everything is about your objective, your purpose. And I always feel, just like what I was telling you, what is the purpose and the objective really of Domlek and the utility companies? Right? Are we striving to ensure that we can provide free electricity in, say, 10 years, 20 years, free water, because those are, in a modern society, them things are necessities to life, especially water, the Wasco, what. Supposing a man cannot afford to pay his water, what is saying, like, you should, deserving of having water in our residence. So I think, like, all them things is things we should be looking at. And I say, like, we're between two French countries, my brother. And I know in Guadeloupe for one, they cannot disconnect you. You check? Your water for one cannot be disconnected, even if you have how much arrears, how much. So, we in ourselves, we have a constitution which says we have a right to life. But part of what that giving you that right to life is water. You check? Without water, you'd have no life in. You check? So, are we looking at our constitution and saying, boy, we want to guarantee the life of everyone on the island by providing them free water, or providing a certain sector of the society with free water? What is the goal? What is the aim? You check. So it's like those utility companies, they there, you check, and it's like, so we're just in a perpetual cycle of just.
They have no social. They act like they have no social responsibility.
Exactly.
That is what they do.
Exactly. And we're just there as the consumers in a perpetual cycle of just paying bill. But what about the people that cannot afford, or you fall on hard times, or whatever it may be? Or what happened here? What becomes of your right to life? Water forms part of that right to life. You need access to clean drinking water,
But
potable water.
Pyro, you're asking a very important question,
So
Yeah.
these things we have to look at. Are we going to be able to provide free electricity and free water, say 20 years down the line, 15 years down the line? What is the aim?
Yeah.
You check? Look, the man talks about wisdom like and the whole power generation and the geothermal. So is geothermal going to make it possible that we would have free electricity?
I don't believe that's the intention at all. Right now, there's more means of sucking funds out of us, the people. That's all everything is. That's the purpose of everything that has been done by the system, right, for the longest while. That's what I see. So it's just creating things to get revenue from the people.
Yeah, we're not a hyper kind of capitalism society, my brother. And it's like we
yeah,
don't, it's just like what Flacco say, we forget our sense of social
yeah. Community.
responsibility, our
Yeah,
sense of being with one another, sense of
correct.
being a community.
Yeah, man.
And we're just thinking about money, money, money,
Money,
grab,
yeah,
grab, grab,
correct.
and not thinking about, boy, we have a responsibility to one another, you know. We have a responsibility to one
You
another,
see,
and it's a thing like we cannot just brush them things on the side. We check and I say like Margaret Wallace make couple comments there, and in her comments she's saying like economic independence is key and is real and is a thing we mentioned last week, just like this was last week I think, yeah.
yeah.
When we spoke about the judges, we check and the effort of the government to ensure that the judges are economically independent. We check so they can exercise their duties. But you know they can be corrupted. You know that the corruption exists, so you're making an effort to ensure that these people there are
Wealthy.
economically
No.
independent.
Yes.
So what happened to the corruption that can exist to the average man, to the normal man? The corruption of being bribed
Right.
to pass a vote
Right.
when it should be facts and so on to get a system in
Exactly.
line.
It should be
You check
policy.
me? The
Yes.
educational system to ensure that people are educated in a responsible manner, in an independent manner, so they can build themselves. They can create that environment where we, as a people, can create for ourselves. We can express ourselves.
But
That constitutional right of expression.
but not just that, Pyro. You say something earlier there, and I wanted to hit on it again.
Well,
What is that life? That right to life? What is life? What is life without,
and
you know,
you see, look again, Margaret
life is
asking
not just existing. Life, civil life,
yeah,
civic.
because look,
You have
just
to,
one
yeah,
thing. Like Margaret Wallace make a next comment. How are we making the society better? And it's the same thing.
improving
Is this
life.
exactly your life, your character? It's just
Yeah,
like what you're saying
yeah.
earlier on. And
And a big part of that is economic means, because we live in a system which is, it depends on our economic participation. If you are not able to participate economically, you don't exist in the system, brother.
that's how the system has it.
You
But
know?
like she made a even an earlier comment. She's saying like the system supposed to, at least the system has to support the ability of the citizens to create economic independence.
Of
And she's
course.
totally right.
Of course.
It's even written in the constitution, in the preamble of the constitution. And it's really supposed to create the environment and allow people to do what they want to do.
You're
You
supposed to
check.
create a population that is resistant to the bribe. You cannot create a dependent population and then you want to boost up yourself. Oh, everybody. No, because you have everybody like chickens that hungry, and when you throw the rice, everybody will come. But when people are economically independent, they're able to have to make what you call a rational decision, a logical decision, not a decision out of coercion or desperation. You check what I'm saying? No, that is the post that you see. You can call it the chakras, you can call it whatever it is, but we have been locked into that animal vibration. And that is why we don't trust each other, because we are illogical. We looking at each other
Well,
behaving illogical every day. You check me? Our economic means impact our nutritional, you know, our nutrition. Our nutrition impacts our state of mind. You check I telling you?
I
What
think
is
it even
life?
going further than that, you know, Flacco, because
Bro, we need to.
you see, the administrators now, what them man have done is that they have glorified this individuality thing, which makes me in terms of boy, check for yourself is
Yeah,
you
we
and you
boy.
alone. But we living in a society, and is the society is what that enabling us to create what we're creating, you know. You check me. We dependent on one another in so much different levels, my brother. You check me, because at the end of the day, if if my fellow if my fellow community members don't have the economical means, huh? That means I myself not going to have the economical means, you know.
Correct.
Because if I have a business or a service,
Yeah.
it's my immediate
Community.
community that going to how they
Hold on,
call it,
hold on, hold on.
Patronize and yeah.
patronize your
But hold on,
business,
but
my
hold on.
brother. You
The
check
church
so
will
you
tell you, if you see a child outside there that hungrier than your child, leave your own child hungry and feed the child outside there. You understand?
well,
So that is what is placed in our minds ideologically. That even in our poverty, we must go below poverty to show that we are a good Christian. You check me?
a good Christian. Well, the thing about it,
To me, charity comes from prosperity. When a community works together, produces together, then they are able to share and be in that
yes,
charitable, you know.
yes, but remember,
But anytime you're in survival mode, you're locked into
but what is survival
thing. You
mode?
check
You see
me?
me, I don't believe in that survival mode. To me, it's about purpose. You check. If you make survival mode your purpose, if you make it, you're going to always be in survival mode, you know. But it always have abundance because it's the resources, the mind. To me, your
Correct.
resources and
Correct.
your
Yeah.
mind, your mental capacity to create that
Yeah.
vision,
Yeah, man.
to realize that vision. You check. Some of us can do it in the hardship and
Yep.
the hard time,
Yep.
and some of us will find it harder
Yeah.
to execute it and to do it.
Correct,
But
brother.
it's creating that environment that the vast majority of us can be able to create and express ourselves and be and be that and be who you want to be. Basically, express yourself how you feel too. You check. You don't have to be checking. Okay, boy. If I do that, if I say that, that Flacco might take offense and Flacco might cripple me and them kind of thing. There, you check. No, a man supposed to be free and open enough to understand. Okay, boy, Mr. have his freedom of speech to express himself. You check me. We need to get back to that place where we can speak to one another and understand that it do coming out of malice, you check, but it coming out of we want to be better as a people, you
And we
check
want
me.
to be heard and
Yeah, man.
understood and
Yes,
Need to
appreciated.
come on.
right.
Yeah.
Because all of us supposed to have a place in the society, you check.
Correct.
All of us supposed to have a place in the society, you know.
For
All of
sure.
us living in a society, whether
Yeah.
we choose to come and live in Dominica, whether we were born here and we inherit it and what it may be. But all of us supposed to have a place in this society, and we're supposed to understand and respect that,
That is it.
such that it's just like you have a business, you're doing your thing, you check, but You're growing up now as a youth man and you will be checking to yourself, boy, you see a vision and you have a different idea of how to do your own thing and how to express your own self. But the economics and the society is supposed to be open enough that you
Impossible.
can take your idea and not be dependent on saying, but I must go and work for this person, or I must go and work for that person, or I must go and look for a job there. But you're supposed to be able to and you're supposed to be able to take that idea and create your economic independence from that based on how our society is set up, And that was one of the things that really made America great, my brother. You check?
Yeah.
Because when people were getting persecuted in Europe, when we do architectural history and we learn about them thing and we come to understand them things, they're like a lot of them scientists and a lot of
Yeah, man.
man.
Technological benefit.
Yes,
Yeah,
a lot
man.
of people that were
Because
advanced in the
that is why it
society,
was
they are
possible.
they had to leave Europe
Yes.
and go America to be able to express that level of intelligence,
I
my
just tell my
brother. You
daughter
check.
that.
And
I
that is
just tell
one,
my daughter that.
but that is one of the problems we have in Dominica because you know what man does
How
tell
can
you?
my how
You have
can you
what man does
have
tell you? You have to play stupid and dumb for you to be able to get anywhere in Dominica, don't you?
bro boy, I call
Remember,
I yo, there are places on earth where people get together to solve problems with logic, technology, rational thinking. You check me? And not subjectivity, but objectivity. You check me? People able to have exchanges and it's not personal. Nobody feeling like they're trying to outshine that one or it's like it's a competition because the real goal is to turn that light on. And when that light turn on, everybody else going to benefit. And that is the moment, when a person, standing out, you check. So there's no need for the barrel and the crab trying to carry on each other. When as soon as the objective is achieved, as soon as we reach the pinnacle, all of us will shine together. You understand? There's no need for us to be fighting each other when each of us holding a piece of the puzzle. The man you're shutting down there, that it might be the man that have the light bulb. You understand? But like Pyro saying, the environment has to be created intentionally. The intention cannot be to keep people in their place, keep people down so that you can dominate and 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 subdue them, and you know
you ever
you will get so high but no further. You know when the sky is the limit.
you ever
You check
wonder
me.
why people would check to have a greener pasture? Hmm? If you're in one place and it's not working for you, you're going to try to move to somewhere where it's working, to a different
Of course.
environment.
Of
And
course.
what that making it different is the environment, my brother. You check me? I always tell man, the land is the land. But the people,
People.
brother, creating the people that creating the society, creating the institutions, creating the relations. You check me that interaction, how we interacting with one another, how we dealing with one another. You check me? And that environment, that environment, yeah man,
I want to
that is
go back.
what we have to fix.
Yeah, and as you say,
To
I
create the en- the
enabling
yeah
environment.
man.
Yeah, I want to go back to a comment that Margaret Wallace, the first comment to saying that maybe we need people who have a track record or who demonstrated a record of good faith on a record. Yeah,
Evidence.
basically saying that like we need people that show that walk the walk already, that show the like because it's the same thing you start the conversation on trust. Now, for me to trust somebody, to that person say they can do that and just agree with it. Yeah, they say they can do that and yeah, I suspect they can do that. I feel and they are words saying they can do that. So we're just gonna say, boy, I trust Mr. because he show this document and he say he can do that. But what does he have to show for it? It's just right now it's just to give him an opportunity to show. Whereas there are people who have shown, demonstrated that they can take nothing and make something, that they can do so many things, that they have the ability.
The Perry.
You check what I'm telling you? So that is why trust is a thing that have to be earned. Trust is a thing that is built, is earned. So, and it's based on, like I just keep using myself as an example. I have demonstrated that I have the ability to in terms of assisting, young people, young athletes to help them develop themselves and gain opportunities out there, to reach to the next level, in the career, to take, make sport, and I've demonstrated that for a while now. So, in my case, that I don't have to say I think I can do that or I know I can do that or I have acquired the ability I learned. No, I can say, look at, they are the example of what I've done already. You know what I mean? And there are a lot of people like that have done things, and then there are a lot of people that haven't done anything, but they feel they know, they say they have the ability to do it, and they want us to trust them, to give them the opportunity to do it first, to help us to do it. But then they don't want to show us unless we give them the opportunity. You feel me? So that's where you started with it, trusting, and the comment you're making, that's what I'm getting from it, which I agree 100%, that this is where we need to go. We need to find people who, first of all, people that can bring people together. The
Well,
first thing is bring
Wadi,
people together.
I go down here. I want to interrupt you a little bit.
Yeah, man, go ahead,
To
man.
me, I just feel it's not really our job to find nobody, but it's to create the environment where people are comfortable enough that they can express themselves.
That is
How
So
do we
I'm
create
on.
that environment?
What?
Who going to create that environment and how?
Well,
Well, not how, but who?
But we doing it every day. Every Monday we come there, we helping to
yeah,
shape that
true, Flaco.
environment.
Nah.
You check I telling you?
Yeah,
Because a lot of the things we just say, sometimes people think this, but I thought it's me alone that was
Thinking
checking
that,
that. You
yeah.
check me?
Yeah.
And with every person that realize or get
yeah,
that
conversation
validation,
is a start.
it giving them the courage, to speak up.
True.
You check me? So I believe people quietly paying attention. I don't want to discount people.
True,
That's
true.
one thing I don't want to do, like discredit or discount people. When I listen sometimes to the conversations that going on, right, at the highest levels, brother, all I does here is these people discounting the public.
Definitely. Yes.
Talking to the people like they believe it's a set of kindergarteners that there, and they are the pinnacle of intelligence and understanding and comprehension. Like God give them all, and nobody else will get none.
Uh,
You check?
and his power moves.
Yes, but to me,
Yeah, it
to me,
not in the
it
it
is
not, how would I put it? It not in the it not in the benefit of us all as communities, as a
it is
society.
childish. It
Well,
is kindergarten, and it is
uh,
the ceiling that we have placed upon ourselves, that we have placed above us. And once we come to realization that these are you see those gatekeepers, those people those limits that we place on ourselves, when these people are that we put there, we realize that truly they do not represent us in any way, shape, or form. They don't have the intellectual capacity to represent us. Okay?
Yeah.
we will do what we have to do. Okay? Sometimes I hear people say, oh, they'll vote for a door if they. No. Because you cannot identify yourself as dumb as a door. What we need to understand is that we need to let those people know that when they're talking the way they're talking, just basically look at themselves like they're naked in front of us. You understand? Because when they believe their attempts to deceive us or to, those attempts fall flat, brother. Our children have AI now, my bro. You check I telling you? Our children have AI. You understand? So, as a nation, as a whole sovereign nation, in this time, we have to get the cream of the crop to speak on our behalf. People can't be tripping over words and you check me. When it comes time to do the people work, you check I telling you, you can't be want to condescending to the people that put you there to represent their best interests and gaslighting people and thinking that people of lesser intelligence than all you. You check me, and the whole world have to look at that. Nah, man, my brother.
There is where trust comes in. Because no matter what it is, we have to learn to trust one another.
Correct.
Check. Whether you like it, whether a man don't like it. We must trust one another.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, all of us might have different blessings, we might have different skills, different abilities, different interpretation of things. But if we don't interact, if we don't have that
Definitely.
interaction with one another, then basically we gone, we lost, and we see it presently. You check, we see it presently is like this ideology of it's just my way or the highway. You check, and penalizing all who stand against, all who have a different, who carries a different opinion. We see we see where it has brought us, and we see the results of it. It's just to trust one another to take a different road, and yes, to create the environment where we can take that different road. You check me. To me, I can never turn around and check like man stupid and man this and man that. You check. I don't know why you take your decision. You check. But if I can provide to you an opportunity for you to have a better representation, an opportunity for you to have that vision, provide to you a vision where you can say, well, okay, I can believe in that.
Yeah.
I can trust in that.
I can see I have a place in that vision.
Voila.
Yeah.
You check? So
is it.
all that is part of creating the environment where a man can move forward. You check, a man can say, well, okay, boom. Boy, I have a better option. I have an option where it's for me. You check? And not just this whole thing about individualization and everything. But work together, work, and you can have a future because and a purpose, because we need purpose, my brother. And come back to the same thing with Domlek and Duasco and all these companies. You check at the end of the day, what is the vision and the purpose of those companies? You check, are those companies working or striving to be able to provide
Better life for us.
yes, and not just lower bills, in utilities, but remember, water is life. Without water, that constitutional right to life, and right now we see a trend picking up of even access to the rivers and the sources of rivers. People trying to limit them thing because man buying up properties around them thing, and people don't want people crossing on their property, and a lot of foreigners coming in. You check. So, and they want to stay close to the water sources.
But they want to deprive
They
some
want
of
to live.
us. But they want to deprive some of
Yeah,
us.
exactly. When
Yeah. Selfishness.
Again.
those them things,
Hold
the
on.
individuality again, and the whole
Hold on.
society. What is our concept of a society and all them things there and how we moving forward?
You see what you hit on there about the foreigners again. Economic means. Check me,
Definitely.
because these people coming in with their greater economic means
Definitely.
and to our disadvantage.
Yes.
You understand? And we have to take that very seriously, because
Of course.
we're going to be, who going to be, like Shaka Zulu say, when you come here as a white man and you make children and your children born here in Congo, who is going to be the real Congo people? My children or your children?
They're going to love the land
Okay,
more
and they're
than
going to
us.
love the land. They're going to love Dominica more than us. You check I telling you? So they leave the metropolitan, they leave all the decay for our children. They'll sell that to our children, so our children will run over there and they will inherit everything that was ours. You check me? But no, sir.
Imagine today I'm having that conversation, a little conversation there what you just said there. Yeah, nobody, no, I don't go nowhere. Because that is the technique they're trying to do. They're trying to work a technique on we to make us,
Try. They've been working at
technique on, yeah. Well, they working on Rastafari. They working on Rastafari. Tell you straight Makale Pescote.
And
And we have to stand, my brother, don't run. All last time I was telling you,
see,
man, same thing. Where you running from? Who you running from?
yeah, but it's always standing.
Yeah.
I mean,
policy we have to put in place.
Yeah, but we're not even in a position to make the
Well,
policy.
we need to get in the position, brother.
Voila.
Right.
So
there you go. We go get in
part
there,
of
you know.
it, our people have to recognize. One of the things is that we as a people, we have to recognize that our leadership is of the utmost importance.
That is it.
And because our leadership is what giving us the drive, giving us the direction as a society. And if we keep going down to leaders that about themselves, no vision, visionless leaders, and we're going to continue in a trend of nothingness, and we're just going to be a sad people. And yes, we go have some moments, and yes, we go have a few people that will perform, but as a society, we're just sad, and we're seeing it every day.
For sure.
You check the mental situation, mental illness, my brother. Lots of young people under kind of a pressure, and they're just breaking under the pressure, my brother. And you're seeing it.
Yep.
Because most times I sit down on the roadside there, I must see somebody that passing, not just
depressed.
But you wondering where the man they come out, they're seeing a fresh person that just lose their mind. That is somebody that.
What about the drug abuse?
Oh, that is another thing.
What about the rum every early morning?
That's for that one, the alcohol as well.
Boy.
We accept alcohol and we go look down on a man that's smoking cocaine.
Yeah.
When you look at them, my brother, same effect.
Same effect, yeah. Same purpose.
Yeah,
man, I tell you, I buy media and every morning I have like a clinic rasta. Oh, the cry, the same voices coming to drown out themselves. Huh?
I say 5 o'clock in the morning, some of them man don't drinking already.
Come to drown out the sorrow.
Sometimes when you look at it, it's pure. How you calling it now? It's like as if it's a coping mechanism.
Yes, it's that self.
Because some of them homeless, some man that's
feeling
in some terrible situations, and it's like the drugs, the alcohol is a way of just numbing yourself to the reality of your life, and that's checking. Like you could even have the resources for you to face them problems there, so the little resource you have.
Yeah, boy.
You just take that and put yourself in a Yeah, man.
Can you
And you'd have to
imagine?
think about that. You'd have to worry about that until you come back sober. And as you get back sober, you have to get back high again.
No
It's just a
opportunity,
cycle, my
no
brother.
activities that will create opportunities for you. So you don't know how you gonna. What does it mean? How you gonna have a meal? Where you going to? And you just say, what to do?
Maggie,
Sapu fair.
Maggie, that is why. That is why. If I had a sledgehammer do big enough, for me to eat that, my brother. The pay already small, but the pay need to be consistent.
True, true.
You see man that work in NAP. You see people that work in solid waste, my brother, picking up rubbish, my brother. I don't talking about those that working in the office, Don't pay those that working in the office because they in a con and it's those that outside they're working hard. I joking. I kicks in.
But again,
It's
it's poor management.
you understand?
Poor management.
Because a lot of the guys, my brother, come on, my brother. I on the block down
And-
there, and a partner come there, Everybody start to whisper like, "Psh, boy, mister, you check me." He come out in the psychiatric unit, you check? So, after a while, he come there. So, we pull up talking and thing now. The man telling me, boy, solid waste he working, and Dominica solid waste he working and thing, and, boy, my brother, you see those positions there? Why you don't have? It's like we agree certain positions is for the downtrodden, For us to put them there to just to abuse them more than they've been abused already,
True.
We seen they drunk, we
'Cause I
seen
think
they
I
have
know
the
that what you're
problem,
talking about.
and we putting them in those positions to just continue to take advantage of them, my brother.
True.
Now, you with your glasses and your thing, what does that say about your character, my brother? I don't care how clean you be. I don't care how well you bathe, my brother. You don't have enough water in Roseau River or you don't have water in the 365 rivers to wash you, my brother. Because your modus operandi is to take advantage of people that in downtrodden positions already.
True.
Them things that upset me, my brother. You check I telling you? Why you don't make a man put on his armor? Why you don't make a man have his economic means
back to
and
this.
stand on his two legs and then give him the choice whether he going to stay with you or he going to leave? You afraid of that? You rather keep him like a dog so you can continue to ride him. You check I telling you? So you'll give him just enough. You'll pay him just enough to keep him coming back. You'll educate them just enough so that you can use them. You check?
Yeah,
And we have to stop that, Dreddy.
you see,
We have to
Franco,
stop that.
Right. It's funny,
Because them same thing would just happen, when we seeing somebody coming and asking for a glass of water by us. We don't like the inconvenience, We finding, but why that person always coming by me for a glass of water now? You never take the time and go out or maybe ask the question or maybe, But don't worry, man. If one person inconvenience you, they come in and ask for a glass of water. Just now, 2 will come. And then 3. And then 4. And just now the whole village will come. You check, I telling you, don't never step out of your comfort and go and address the issues that you see in things in your shop, it do sell in body, it expire and you have to bring it back by the thing. You check me? Why? Because we too wrapped up in our comfort to give a damn about what's going on below us. You check I telling you? That's why also the whole situation with media. You check? The whole thing with me and the people down there by public works. You check? Huh? I just had to laugh that, by
Yeah, man. Gerard Vital making a good comment there. A comment that I agree with. That's we really need that. We need really to purge and cleansing of the political system.
He says
You know,
Dominica needs a purge and cleansing of its political system
and
and
ideology.
ideology.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to first, or in stages, rewrite parts of the constitution which would make politicians and parlor reps more responsible and accountable to our nation.
Yeah,
With just and equitable punitive measures in favor of the socio-economic development of the. I mean, yeah, the purge, the cleansing of the political ideology, what to me is not. I don't believe we should be even thinking of making parlor reps or politicians more responsible, but giving the society, giving us,
yeah, that part there correct.
um,
I think what maybe is the consequences you need to have.
yeah, apart from just
Yeah.
consequences, I believe
For
the
bullshit.
balance of power needs to be
Yeah.
redistributed because
Correct.
the politicians have too much say, too much power. You know, civil society needs to have more responsibility in this society. So we need to have a system that can have more active participation of the
Yeah,
population.
yeah.
So some of the things that they did, some of the responsibilities of the power reps and the government itself, the politicians in particular, needs to be cut down
Yeah.
and really redistributed.
Yep.
You check
Yep.
things like selecting commissioners,
And
selecting
president and this kind of
judges,
thing there.
selecting.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
them things should be removed from the powers of the politicians,
For
man.
sure.
You check, man.
Yeah. Your politicians,
Yeah, they have too much authority. You check. The president shouldn't be selected. To me, we should vote for our
president,
president.
of course.
You check.
Yeah, man. Let the man focus on policies, putting policies in place
Them
to
kind of
make
thing.
the
Our educational system. Our educational system needs to be better than what we have, which I cannot this thing about. Boy, we.
Yeah, man, is a total reformation of our entire system from top to bottom. That will make it about that'll make it comfortable for us, the society, the people, because it has not been so for so long. They'll take the time to build that system where it's them ras and they continue.
Yeah, we need more inclusion, man.
Yeah, man.
Better inclusion, more participation.
Yeah, Dre.
And it's of us, we the people.
Yeah.
We check. And to be able to get that, we need more independence.
Correct.
Financial independence. Check me job security. We check the same way it's good for those in the higher echelons of society, it's good for those in the lower echelons of society also.
Yep.
So you need financial independence, you need job security, them kind of a things.
Yeah, man.
Food.
Yes, Dre.
Yeah, man. Food, education. We need a better. The educational system needs to be tied better into the economic system, and we need a more meritocracy.
Yeah.
We need
everything need to be need to be
them
sync.
things is what we should be directing our society towards. You check me. We should be really directing the society towards.
Yeah.
You know, and really putting down aims and
Objectives,
goals and purpose, our purpose as a people. So if we aiming to say, like we were saying earlier on, in a 20 years, water should be at least free for half of the society or everybody in Dominica. You check me? And if it's on taxation, we paying whatever it may be, but at the end of the day, we should have aim, my brother. Water is a thing that is a necessity to life. Or you telling me some people don't have water and some people have water?
That, dear, my brother.
That is a pure discrimination.
We was heading there way. We had so much. Them man that taking on standby. We had so much standby. That was
standby was kind of a thing to deal with that.
We had standby like whoa.
Right now, them man remove most of the standpipes around Roseau.
We don't checking nothing there. They're taking no standpipe.
Yeah, and not just around Roseau.
Yeah. Just take out that
around the country altogether.
Yeah.
But you see, that's why
who was there as?
That's why I always say by now we should have an integrated approach to those systems. So Dowasco should already be integrated into electricity generation. So anytime water moving, whether it be using the standpipe, whether it be, they would be generating electricity that they could, that Domlec can distribute. You check what I'm saying? Or they yourself can utilize for their own needs. So that would help to cut their costs. You check what I'm saying? But there is no integrated approach to the problems that we have. There is no comprehensive approach to the problems we have. Look at it. We have solid waste there, where there are a lot of places in the world that consider their waste as an asset. They use their waste to produce bio compost materials, biofuels, and whatever, For the very minimal, we was already recycling bottles. We had Josephine Gabriel that was doing the bottle recycling. We could have expanded that to deal with all of the bottles that we import in there. We are already importing so many goods. Then what do we do with the jars? What do we do with the glass things that can be supplied to manufacturers for them to reuse and create value? But there is no vision. There is no vision. And because there's no vision, there is no communication between those institutions. There's no linkages. And we need to turn that around. We're going to turn that around. You check, I telling you?
Yeah.
Because I believe we start to realize what sitting down on our behind has done for us, You check me? You cannot put a person in a position and not put no pressure on them.
Yeah,
and not have no expectations of
but
them.
Alvin saying there, when they break the laws, who is holding them responsible? So even all them things,
Okay.
you need consequences for
Of
actions
course.
also.
That's what I was saying earlier. There's always consequences for, like I was saying with Domlec, there is always inconveniences and consequences to shape the behavior of the poor, small man. Equally, there has to be consequences, there has to be penalties to shape the behavior of the big man. You check I saying?
Yeah. So now he's saying Dowasco just broke the law by imposing an unlawful rate increase. Are the people engaged to call them out on that? Civic engagement is missing there.
So you
And
see?
yeah, because if you look at it, this administration has effectively, basically, destroyed most of the civic institutions in the society. So only a lot of the cooperatives, you check me. You look in your community, my brother, before we used to have a thriving cooperative right now that died. You look around in most of the communities, it's the same thing. You check me, the Banana Association, all them different things. How much food, even them sports clubs and them thing there. You check them thing not even as functional as how they used to be. You check. So a lot of things is just like fellas don't want to participate in nothing because the environment so nasty. You check. Depends on what you say. Somebody
And
even take that and
it's
carry
so
that to
hollow,
somebody
it's
else.
so hollow, it's hollow.
And you're just finding, well, your job going down, this going down. You check. So the environment so nasty that people don't want to participate. You check and them man now have their boy. So
And then
going back again, Alvin made the next comment. Civil society and citizens on the whole have to be more engaged. And you're right, you check. If we the people are not engaged as we should, the constitution will just be a document on paper. And correct again. So the
Alvin jamming tonight
education,
there.
we the people have to hold these leaders fit to the fire. Civic
Hold them
engagement is
accountable.
what that
It's
is
missing,
missing.
yes,
And it's
aye.
totally right. You check.
Yeah,
Totally
man,
right.
jamming tonight there. Big up the viewers, the
And
comments. Keep it
Marshall,
coming.
Marshall made a comment there also saying, Alvin, NGOs used to be a force to reckon with for good of country. Can that passion reignite? Too much dependent on executive branch of government. And
Yeah.
yes, he's totally right. And we need more greater participation in the
Yeah, man.
society. We need greater participation, greater inclusion.
Yeah,
More people
empowerment.
needs to be included,
Yeah, man.
and that is what is only enabling environment that can do that.
Yeah, man. We need to
You check,
empower and encourage each other
yeah, man, government,
to engage our, in the whole upbringing of the society. We need to do that. That's what we're trying to do. To inspire each other, not to say, hey, don't break down, Ras. Let's go.
Yes,
Play your
you see
part.
what you're saying there, Maggie? That. To break down. That is what we call support.
Yes.
You check?
Yes, brother. That's what it is.
Support.
And that's the role we have.
And you know what support does do? Support does build trust.
But yeah. Yes, I.
So if we're talking about building trust, then as small as it is, when you see somebody making an attempt to do something for their self, you have to try to show them a little support.
Yeah, man.
Check me.
yeah, and it's just like a thing I just say, something. Our activities is what forming our economics. Now, if you look at it, if our society, our government was more into providing the means that we can take our activities and create economics instead of we trying to go out there and say sell passports and rush to all these globalized countries that basically we cannot really compete with them. But we have access to markets where, boy, our people can create things and sell and help themselves and pick up themselves. We check, and we can have a stronger population. We can have a more secure population in terms of having finance, job securities, and all them different things there, and guide the population into having
Yeah.
this unity,
Yeah.
these vibes, my
Yeah.
brother. You
Yeah.
check, improve the education
Motivate,
system. You check,
inspire,
yeah,
encourage
encourage
us.
people
Yeah,
to to
man.
to
Let's
seek
go. You
to
can
seek
do
what they
it.
want to seek,
Yeah.
and
It
have their
can.
purpose, live out their purpose. You check,
Once you're willing, once there's a will,
yeah,
there's a
that kind
way.
of a thing about
Yeah,
you
man.
want to mold a man into you want to mold
Yeah.
a man into what? No, let the man
Yeah, be.
express himself and
Yeah.
be who he
You want to
wants to
be.
be, my
Yeah. So he
brother.
can
You
make
check,
his contribution to the
yeah.
society.
You check,
We-
society is supposed to facilitate
Yeah,
that.
man.
You check, you come in to be a man, you come in to be a woman.
Yeah.
Society is supposed to
What you mean, man? You
facilitate
have to
you,
break,
take you, guide you.
embrace you.
And that is why all them things is why we became a society.
Bumbo
Because
class,
if not, we
man.
could stay in our like a tribe, family
Yeah.
vibes, and man arm themselves and agree, yo, tomorrow we're gonna raid them man there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're gonna raid them man there.
That and
The
that
strongest man win, you check.
and that are going on
And
nowhere else with that
and that
tribalism. Them and
individuality
us.
kind of a thing. But we agree to come together and make it work. No matter our difference, we're supposed to make it work and be willing to sit down at the table and make it work. My brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know the blessed thing I say about all that too? The blessed thing I say about all that is that it opened our eyes now to see the way the administration in power, the kind of a way they're going on. If that one and the other one, and they try to eradicate the other side. But in essence, it's for us to have no sides and have just one. You check it, and that is what we have to take the positive out of it. When you
why we calling ourselves Dominicans?
yes, Ras, you check it. So you seeing they want to mash up that side, and that's I want to mash up that side. But when we mash up each other,
Exactly.
and we just becoming ashes and
My
dust.
brother, that is why I tell people.
Hold on. You see what you were saying there, Pyro?
Yeah.
About the model that we have there, the consumer model.
Yes.
We had it have a TikTok thing there of a Chinese partner talking about
Right,
that.
capitalism.
Yes. The man say the Chinese government providing all the support for their people
Yeah, man.
to go and be productive.
Yeah, man.
Everything we consuming outside there made in China. You check me? So what are the Chinese people? Productive.
Yeah.
They are not a consumer economy. And that is what America has turned their population into.
True,
A
true.
consumer economy.
True.
And that is the model that we follow in.
Yes.
You understand?
Because
We do not, we want to run a government on
Service.
taxes, yet we have no economic participation in the economic life of the country. You know? 2/3 of the population, I'll put it like that. 2/3 of the population have no significant economic participatory role. You check me? The attorney what's his name? Is the attorney general? Levi Peter.
Yeah.
The attorney general telling you he doesn't consider VAT people that paying VAT taxpayers. The man tell you if you do it in 40, you know, he said himself majority of people in Dominica do not pay taxes. So what does that mean? Majority of the people in Dominica do not take part in the economic life. They do not make significant contribution to the economic life in Dominica. You check I telling you? So when I say earlier that we are not livestock, essentially that's what you are saying. That you look into houses. You check me? Just now you look to feed us and clothe us. You check? Because we will not have that desire to do for ourselves. But I do believe that you can separate a human from that. That is just human beings. Everybody will seek a way to do for themselves. You check me? And the reason why it is like that in the Dominica is not because a lot of people don't want to do better, but a lot of people have been broken.
True, true.
They've been broken, brother.
You see the thing I go don't tell you a thing. People know the solution to their problems.
Yes, sir.
It's not like they do not know. People know the solution to their problems.
Yes,
So
sir.
you ask them the question, they tell you, oh boy, poor management. Boy. Provide the avenue for a man to say, well, boy, they must go down that road. I can go in the next road. Check. And yeah, that is one of the things that really, instead of we just sit down and check like, boy, people don't like this, people no. Give a man the opportunity.
And see him transform his life.
Yeah.
And watch him.
Yeah, man, give a man the opportunity.
Don't give him a token.
You check. Don't tell the man, boy. Again, it's the same trust.
Yeah.
The man that say, boy, young people don't do work, young people don't do this, young people. Give the young people the opportunity.
Aye, boy, Pyro, I always say that.
Give them the opportunity. Don't sit down there and say, man,
Yeah,
don't
man.
do work. You check. But I remember as a young man, boy, I was mad eager to work, but when I go and work, boy, man, exploit, man, boy.
Yeah.
You check. And I had to check, I cannot stay in that environment, boy. You mad. You check. And then a man go say, boy, all the young people don't want to work, but you exploiting, man.
Correct,
Boy.
yeah.
You check.
Taking advantage of
Man
man.
want to make money, boy. Man want to live life. Man want to enjoy.
Yeah.
You check. I remember them thing, just leave school.
Of course.
Fresh. My mind yourself. They work fresh. I what? And what? Exploitation, Jay.
Shit.
You check.
I'm telling you.
Leave that place and run out, though. And go next place, yeah, man, more appreciative and
Thrive.
more welcoming. Yeah, man.
And you thriving, my
Yeah, man.
brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Go, you man.
When you look back on the show, man, boy, you do them thing and man see, you do that and man checking like, wow.
Shit. And you could do that in your own society, in your own place.
Easy breezy.
You know what I mean? And you have to go
That's
somewhere
right.
else and do it
Yeah,
and
man.
Timal.
And
People that you're born with, grew up with, couldn't benefit from the gift that you come to give on the earth. And another nation and other people that don't even know you, they even know you.
Will embrace you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By telling you,
Check.
boy.
Well, I experienced that.
Me
I
too.
lived that.
Me
I had to
too.
spend 4 years in Lucia.
Same place, me too. I Lucia
check.
not for long, so. But the people are them telling me, boy, stay there, boy, and they want
Yeah.
to. They love what I do, and I check, boy, yeah, but I be developing
Me
your
check.
people and your place and your
Yeah, man.
youths. But what my youths are back there, boy, I see the suffering way. I have to go back and, boy, I get divorced way, go that way. Boy, guys checking like, boy, I can't stay in your place and develop your place. And I hear in my youth, boy, coach, but nobody checking for us now, boy.
Imagine
Oh,
you see, like what Maggie said there. You know what I remember in my brother when I graduated in Cuba. When I graduated, architecture, one of my classmates, the man father is a minister, in St. Vincent. As I telling you, the man offer man working, to go St. Vincent. That time, the man has 2004, graduate in architecture urbanization. As I telling you, the man checking, boy, all you come look at St. Vincent, or they can get work in the planning of the airport because the man just start to plan the airport. Whenever I check in, he say me, I show that man straight. It's DEA. You see, my skills and my talent and my ability is to contribute to my society.
Yeah.
I show the man that straight up,
Same thing, I tell you.
When I reach DEA, you could swear and say it's just hell they drop, man. Nothing not running. You know, tell you nothing. Imagine it, have an opening for an architect in government. And not even an interview man can get in, my brother. Yes, I tell you. Yeah. Nothing at to stay here 2 years and then jump out and go Lucia for another 4 years, And it's Lucia really. Because even the man and them in the private sector down here, my brother, it's exploitation.
Yeah.
It's like as if them man.
They're taking advantage of the lack of opportunities
Yeah,
elsewhere in the system.
Yeah, man.
So
And they don't giving you no good guidance to say, well, just give you a guidance and try to
advantage.
put you on a good path or nothing like that. To say, well, okay, boy.
You're desperate.
The economy is rolling in a way where I can pay you, But at the end of the day, the guidance I can give you, the vibes, the doors I can open. Not even that the man want to do for it. It's just use you.
Use you and abuse you, Rasta.
And I see that. You check me. And yeah, blood is a lot, See the youth? The young man on them.
Boy.
My man need opportunity, boy.
Eli telling you. Yeah,
Stop telling people about youth don't want to work and kind of nonsense.
Make it attractive for
Every
them.
Every time I hear them thing, I just get vexed.
Yeah, man, make it attractive for the youths, my brother.
I telling you, is we need an enabling environment.
Man.
Check.
Of course,
boy.
And that it's not hard,
right?
You
don't remember what it was to leave school and know you're going to work?
Yeah, boy.
To know. Boy, tomorrow you might get a job and you might have your own money.
Your salary, boy.
You don't remember what that was, man.
And you can buy a chick. Yeah, man. Buy a chick a ticket. Go on a date, boy.
All that man talking about, you don't want to work. Man risking your life, go look there just to try to make ends with.
So you can, flex.
And you telling me that man don't want to work.
Propaganda that there. Propaganda.
No.
Propaganda against
my man risking their life.
You see what you just said there, Pyro?
Boy, what you telling me now?
That is in stark contrast. Take that statement there. The youth don't want to work. And contrast it with that. You check me? To let you understand what kind of level of propaganda that is, my brother.
High level of political propaganda.
To be talking about the youth, saying the youth don't. So the youth don't want opportunity? That you trying to say then? The youth don't want to better themselves? The youth want to...
But they're risking their life to do it.
But come on, Pyro, come on. If that is not a statement, if that don't telling you they want opportunity, then, I don't know, maybe...
Man risking their life with my brother. What are they telling you, greener pasture? What is the greener pasture?
Okay, so if the young boys...
Come with
if the young boys making back door, You check me, come back
Boys
with...
alone, but
Hold
women
on,
are
hold
not
on,
making
hold on,
back
hold
door.
on. Hold on, but it's not everybody that can make back door, eh? Not everybody have the
Not
courage, eh?
everybody, but women are not making back door.
But not everybody have the
woman making
courage.
back door.
So it have a percentage of them there now that opportunity is provided for them, not true?
But of course,
Huh? Some of the opportunity, the cost of it is sexual favors. You check
all
me?
that too. Yeah. And people
You
still
check I
doing
telling
it
you?
just to get out of this hell.
Okay. All right.
Just to get out of hell.
All right.
Because if you live in hell, you're on the way out, you know.
You
But I can never forget that
but
thing about
not
Flacco,
only
boy.
Paul that say when you turn 18, you're going to get a cash lump.
Gunshot. Let me tell you that.
For
I can never forget that, you know, boy. Leaving school and the kind of eager to work. But you know they call eager to work.
Jeb. Yeah, man.
Jeb that name that speed now. You mad? I work. I
Exciting.
go in school and I find all kind of things to do with to make money. No, I do go in school. What you telling me now? But you're mad, man. I have my documents in my hand and I can show you. You're telling me I don't. But that man is according to the old political propaganda.
And that's what I've
It
been
has really
thinking.
destroyed the nation.
Yeah,
You know.
man.
Destroy them
Yeah,
youth.
man. I telling
Huh?
you.
You see a whole boatload of 14 man, 20 man going Guadeloupe with. The boys alone with.
Boy.
that is
Kushal.
why America have to say no. We involve in human trafficking. You check me? Because a lot of we know what go on, brother.
But of course we know what happened.
We know
But it's
what
like we
go
afraid,
on.
enough man afraid to say it.
You check?
You check? You think man don't know but enough man afraid to say it. You check?
And we're not realizing
But we know
the
what
more we
happened.
fear. You
That's
see,
right.
FEAR, we see that fear, my brother, that is the fuck up, that's the mother of all fuck ups. You check it?
But
And that is what is going to be the death of us if we don't fight that, to eradicate that fear. My brother, because the more you do deal with it, it's the worse it gets
of
in.
course. And that is
Boy.
one of the things, you know, Maggie.
Yes.
That a lot of us now checking. Let time deal with it.
Yes.
You check?
But worse that getting, boy.
Of course, it's
You know
worse
why-
to get
you know why
it.
that
Because
happened in
you're
Pyro?
enabling them, man.
You know what happened in Pyro? You know what that tells me? We already reached a point where nobody do want to deal with it, eh?
I wouldn't say
You check
nobody
me?
don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, you're right, you
I
know.
wouldn't say nobody
But
don't
I
deal
will
with
tell you,
because I want to deal with it.
yeah, okay. But the people that they're in the positions right now, they don't want the response. So wait. I was listening to a partner earlier. The partner was saying something about, like, you know, a lot of the people in the positions, it's like they have to, if they don't have something on you already, they have to tint you to, you know, so that they can control you. You check? But what I want these people to know is that it don't have nothing you do that can be more detrimental than what them fellas than what they do already,
Destroying
what they doing
communities
now,
everywhere.
and what they intend to do. So you see, whatever you do, don't watch on it, my brother. We can forgive you. You check, I telling you. But you see what them fellas do already. You see what they doing now, and you see what they planning to do. Do not allow yourself to be an instrument. If you feel you can't take the pressure, just resign. Let them choose another person to. You check me? I telling you now. You might think you do something really bad, but my friend, I don't think you. Yeah. I don't think you let Lucifer bugger you
That
yet.
man destroy enough youth to the boy.
You check?
Already?
Because I believe some of them fellas, Jano, don't protect them. Whatever you do is a grain of sand compared to them man sins. You check, I telling you? Yeah, respect.
Boy, and you're saying there, Flacco, about But you fix yourself. You're saying they don't want to do it. They don't respond. No, they don't want. No, they don't want it to be fixed because they're benefiting from the
Naturally, that is what they know.
caution.
That is what they know.
Yeah.
Remember, you see a thing, you see the thinking that has created the problems. That thinking kind of solve the
Never.
problems. And the thing with that thinking that create them problems,
Yeah.
that is what they know.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
there's their purpose.
I think with humanity, mankind, you see, when you say, let's say it, when you set in your ways, yeah, you see them man, none of them man don't know how to run a street business. They're dependent on the state for all their resources. You check all their revenue, all their thing. You think them man can leave government there now and say they're gonna still be able to generate that level of income or that level of revenue? They cannot. None of them. You check.
They don't want to leave.
They don't want to let that go. They don't want to let it go.
You correct. That is it, Pyro. Samoka di ulawe.
And they will do anything to maintain
anything to maintain it.
Because
That
they
is
know
it.
the day they leave that office, that they can never
Yeah.
do anything it have for them to generate that level
Yes.
of revenue, that
telling
level of
you.
income, that level of money.
And that do sin.
They don't care if they have to sacrifice.
That privilege.
Them are sacrificing their more than
Unborn generations.
Rastafari. And that is why we need to know, we need to stop that shit right now, Ras. We need to understand that. If we don't understand that now, boy, we're doomed to perish. We need to understand that. And we need to deal with that, my brother.
I want to hit there.
Yeah, for true. How much comment passing there?
They were saying that somebody saying there that we need to create such associations and get experts and legal minds too and so.
Yeah, he made a first comment about registered associations, joint business projects.
Right,
Some pets
right.
persons just want to be able to do it
Yeah.
alone. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know, civic society basically.
Definitely, I think that is one of the things that we need to do. But you see,
Alvin made a few comments. Yeah.
one mind cannot do everything. Or they say toothless we can we say a cell tet. So a lot of the peoples that maybe know about, know these things, know the ins and outs, know, because that's what right now, that is what we're doing right now. We forming the alliances. We already have a few people that we working with. We need more. You check, I telling you. So if whatever ideas you have there, you check me, just organize yourself and make contact with us.
Alvin
And
call that about
we gotta make it happen. You check, I telling you. I see Alvin. Well, Alvin always, always on the live. And what I can say is that Alvin himself, as a former general secretary of the union, I think he have a lot to offer, a lot of advice, a lot of insight that he can offer, and he's a man that always,
Yeah, he made a
he's always
comment there
makes
and
himself
to read it.
available. So, guys, all you can organize all yourself and get in touch with us. Let's see how we can make things happen.
Yeah, man. And there are a lot of people like him that leave institutions because of bullshit this is going on. Like you cannot see themselves staying in that.
True.
So they come out of it. But the next move you have to make is when you come out of it, when you come on the outside now, you have to decide we're going to go back inside there to fix that shit, to eradicate, to take out the caution, the trash in there and fix up. Don't just turn your back on it.
Well, let me see, Alvin
like the
made a
police.
comment. These
The
so-called
police.
leaders lack character and discipline. And it's real. Two major qualities of leadership.
Yeah, man.
It's not just about degree or all that
No.
other stuff. And it's totally right. Because some
Degrees
of them man have their degree
Yeah,
and they
man.
don't have nothing them
Degrees is a
etiquette. They don't have
compliment
nothing them
to the
understanding. They just
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
They don't I know say character and discipline determines it all. Maggie, you
Rastafari.
got the discipline and character, bro.
Fire.
Each one of you guys.
Yes, Rasta.
Yeah, man, Alvin,
Yes, my brother.
100.
Only discipline.
Yeah, well, I have it for you. It's Minister of Discipline. And,
You
yeah.
see that is why Alvin, I like to be in the company of my brethren. We complement each other.
True.
Everybody have their strength and their weakness.
True.
It has
Respect
times
that.
when because it have things that really, I'm a person, things that hit me deep. You check? Certain things, when I see them, it does just ignite a fire inside of me. So you see, like when I talk about and especially taking advantage of people, that in particular, you check
Yeah,
me,
that is a thing as well.
I just cannot take that. You check I saying? So sometimes when I fly off my handle, my brother's there to get me back in check. You check I saying? Even at my age, it still have things that I recognize about myself that I work on and struggle with. You understand? But I think that is just a symptom of me questioning myself whether I am the one that is insane or whether the society that I am living in is just insane. And I believe in logic. That is my job as a network administrator, as a person dealing with computers and computers is all about logic. So when I see people acting and doing things in illogical or irrational ways and expecting good results, it's like almost an irritation, Maggie, because you have that mind where you see how a thing should work or how it's supposed to work, and you see somebody just there almost deliberately doing things the wrong way. Maggie, that does send me, and I appreciate my brothers and them being there at those times, to reflect that back to me that I need to, hey, Flaco, yeah. So team,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
You don't know my brother. Love my brother.
Yeah.
Now what? Now Flaco, I don't know.
I don't think it have a team inside there, because
No, we don't know. No, soft. No,
the
that already.
leadership is dominating all positions.
You know that
So I
already.
don't think it have no.
Yeah. Now, though, I don't know how you start with that trust thing there, but that is the most important thing in our ass. And we just have to mend, because that is, in essence, the biggest hindrance to getting us out of that situation. And like I said, trust is something that have to be built, and it have to be earned, and all that kind of vibes like that.
You
You
have to
check
be
it,
open with each
and
other.
and that
To be open, you have to trust.
and you have to communicate
You have to
too
communicate.
and discourse, and that is what the campaign have to be. Not no pee pop up and wave flag and bag and hat and thing, boy. Ask questions, Maggie. So what is it that and will you be, and what ask questions that is concerned of to you. How are you going to deal with that matter there? What are we going to do? Not what are you going to do. To ask me what I'm going to do. Ask me what we going to do, how we going to do it, what is the idea, what. Let's ask each other questions and look each other in the eyes and answer, give the best answer we can, and see if it make and we correct each other. It have to be included. It's like how we talking there and the comments come in and we vibing, and that's how it have to be.
Yeah, because a lot of times people don't really want to be right, Certain times people just want to be heard.
Yeah.
A person might just want, to communicate something that, like Pyro say, express themselves, and people have to be allowed to do that, whether it is your interest to you or it's in your benefit or not it's your benefit, but you cannot invalidate somebody's expression. That is how the person's feeling.
Correct.
You understand? So a lot of times when even
That's
on
why
so-
that's
even
why we
if-
had freedom. We have that
yeah,
freedom. We have
yeah,
that freedom.
exactly.
To express ourselves.
And for you to feel that you're free to express yourself, you have to be in an environment you're feeling safe and you can trust the people.
I'm not gonna
You
judge
check
you
out-
until you
you understand?
shut your ass, boy.
You understand?
No, boy.
It's really not even the problem.
But that is what that happening right now. Even on the social media, when
Yes.
people post certain things,
Yeah,
I think
man, telling you.
you have people quick to invalidate people's
man,
things.
rubbish
People
talking.
talking about
Difference
the
of
things.
opinion.
Yeah. A man calling you a thing
It
rubbish
will,
and
it will always have the difference of opinion.
Of course.
But we must never use the opportunity to invalidate people, because the thing that you're invalidating might be the thing that can improve your life.
Correct.
You understand? When a person bring up a topic about, let's say, the collection, look, we have this leptospirosis thing going around now. When somebody talk about the rubbish, why even if you have your reservations about, how you might see it, but when the rubbish situation get dealt with, everybody benefits.
Rastafari.
Everybody safer for it.
Of course.
You understand? So regardless of what we may feel, if we feel personally attacked or we feel but we have to stop trying to invalidate people, people concerns,
That's
people
very
expressing themselves.
Very important.
Because while you're invalidating the person expression, you fully validating yourself,
Yes.
You check out the
Yes.
I feel like some people just get a good feeling in crushing other people.
Correct.
You check out telling you,
point.
and it do to me though bringing no, it not making no progress.
And now that silence you've been talking, I was talking about
Yes,
now.
that silence.
That
That is what that has caused the silence.
Voila.
Yeah.
Because man checking, I don't always have to say, trust I don't go, just hold my peace, I'm not say nothing. But no, is that how we're going to know what a man thinking, what a man feeling, and you say, oh, boy, I didn't know you don't know that. So and I can help you and guide you. I say, no man, it's so man.
Yeah.
You check it, but if you didn't say that, how I would know you don't know? I would just assume you're supposed to know that. And to understand, not all of us don't know everything, but so much new things we learn every day, boy. Boy, I never forget, I will never stop saying,
So much things we can talk about.
I will never stop saying how I come about to be where I be with that whole movement. It's because of passing and seeing them man by the library dread in front of the president's place, talking and using the constitution to demonstrate their rights, my brother. And I checking like, Chuna boy. Boy, I never know that. I take me, boy. I checking like, Chuna boy. Look at him, man. Making the police G back there, boy. If a book way, making the police know. If you cannot show me what in that book telling me, I can't. Someone I said, okay, come on in front of me, and the police have to just come out there. I checking, Chuna boy. I checking, okay. I want to know more about that. Ja, more people. I'm telling all you, iron sharpen iron. Let us inspire each other. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't be afraid to ask questions, Ras. Don't be afraid to question authority. When people telling you this, and explain to me why I cannot do that. Why you want me to do that? That's how we're going to learn. That's how we're going to build. That's how we're going to grow, Ras. That's how we're going to solve our problem.
I will before we leave the program, before we close the program, I want to touch on that last point there. The people who have the economic means among us are the ones who are basically shaping the society through the court system, through the institutions that exist, right? The rest of us, because we lack those same economic means, we may be a little more deficient in being able to access those very same institutions that help to shape the society. So it is in our interest, until we can make an amendment to the Constitution where the evolution of our Constitution is taken on at the expense of the state. Until we get to that point where we have a constitutional reform and we say, well, any matters arising of a constitutional nature shall not be at the expense of the individual, but at the expense of the state. Until we have that kind of society that safeguards everybody's equal participation in the advancement and evolution of our democracy, we have to, until that time, we have to safeguard our economic means, our economic ability. The past 20 years there of being separated from our economic means or from feeling the tangible benefit of our economic means is appalling. And the fact that we have had this perceived economic boom with $1 billion economy, yet still we have not felt that we have not, our economic means in our own homeland have not improved by that billion-dollar economy on paper. Right? We have to demand that we put a stop to that. We have to push back, because after mismanaging that billion-dollar economy on paper, the administrators of the state cannot come seeking money to run their government in our pocket by increasing the water, by inconveniencing us with the lights situation, with the energy situation, with their load shedding and their delay in reconnections and their cutting off on holidays. And all of these things are a consequence of the deficiency, the economic deficiency that this government has found themselves in, my brother. Yet we are the ones paying the consequence, You check me? We hear about VAT might be increased to what? To 16, 17%? And income tax being taken off the books completely. So then basically you're saying that everybody that making $100,000 up, $30,000 up, they don't pay no income tax. But yet still, the poorest among us going to pay more in consumption tax. Okay? That is the model that we have a government setting up for our people and our future generations, while we sit there in the dark. My brother, you cannot fail, and after you fail, you want to come and dig in our pockets. You check I telling you? Overdrafting the NBD. You know what overdrafting the NBD means? Social Security. Where do they save their money? NBD. So Social Security, all of them is just one bouillon. You check I telling you? So we have to check our pocket. We have to check we cannot leave it to the Nassif and the Astor fans and the people that have all the money to be the ones being zealous to access the courts to make sure, we need settlements too as poor people. We need to be able to access the court so we can get a settlement. You check I telling you?
To not be poor people anymore.
No. So if our rights are violated and you don't give us a $500,000 settlement, you check me?
That in essence has to be our aim, to eradicate poverty, my brother, in our country. Eradicate poverty, and then we will have that, what you talk about, that stability. You check it? So that has to be our aim, for us to empower each other so that we can eradicate poverty together. Let's not be like how we used to do before. Pass to cut more, who have any wish. Yes, say as to cut, you only lot is on each order we have to get rich ras. Flacco, in the honey hunting business, all of us have to put together. Flacco need cash injection to boost this thing. Let us all come together this month and chat Flacco, look your cash injection, my brother, and Flacco booming. Yeah. And the next Pyro. Yeah, man, and let us build one another ready. That's how we're gonna do it. We're not imagine about just putting things in place to just stick out all man feathers and all man wash peel on them, my brother. We fed up with that shit, you check it? You check it? So people and them, we give thanks, respect for the audience tonight and the engagement and the interaction. Alvin, big up, Caroline, Marshall and the rest. Big up all yourself and each one, teach one, share the conversation, share the live, and tell one another,
Link up, organize,
yeah, man.
form alliances.
Yeah, man, the network, let's build a network.
Moun Séwyè.
Yeah, man, and make them understand that there are people, we have hope, and we are our hope. We are our hope. We are the hope that we're looking for, the light we're looking for, we are it. And we have to look to each other, shine light on one another.
And the people are the ones that energize us.
That is it, Rastafari.
Check me. So once the people there
Yeah, the support.
giving
Support,
us
you know.
the support,
Yeah,
giving us
man.
the drive, the energy.
Yes, sir.
We out there.
Making us know well. Yes, fellas. Yes, guys.
We on mission,
You,
but
you don't. What you?
we
you
human too. Sometimes
yeah,
we
man.
does. You check me.
But we ready and we
We does
willing.
need the.
We willing.
Yeah, man.
And
We
where there's a
need
will,
that.
there's a way. And there are many ways, and we are going to make the way. You know what I mean? So let's do it together, people. You know what I mean?
One love.
Pyro.
Yeah, well, you don't know. It's a family vibes. You have to keep it real, you know. And it's only with the facts, only with the truth. It's a forward movement for the betterment of all of us, you check. So we have to just trust in one another and let the process go through, show one another the love, you know, and appreciation and everything. We cannot all do the same thing, we cannot all be blessed, we're not all blessed the same way, but all of us definitely have a blessing and a talent and a skill. Let's just embrace it, you know, and move forward, whatever problems. Discuss the problems and come up with solutions, you check. But yeah, our purpose, we have to have a purpose and a aim, a goal, a vision that collectively we're creating that enabling environment. We need to create that enabling environment where we can all express ourselves. That whole freedom of expression thing, yeah.
We need to be free.
Yeah, man, we have to be able to
Leave
express
it, man.
ourselves.
Freedom, man.
And
Let us go, man.
yeah, you know,
Man.
create the vision for the different institutions. So, and the society too, because that is what the institutions doing, they serve in the society. So, if we decide in 20 years we want to see water free in Dominica or electricity free in Dominica, we have to say that and we have to, because it's like they say, when you speak it, you're bringing it into reality. You check. So by just speaking it is the Saturday process, you know, and you have to put in the work. But yeah, if the vision is for 15 years, 20 years, basic utilities should be free, even if it's to a part of the population. But we have to strive for something for the betterment for us.
The betterment of us.
Yeah. And yeah, man, with that, I'll say good night to everybody. So yeah.
Respect.
One love.
So we